What's up, Uncle Chael? I was the one that sent in a question about Islam Makhachev and Gregor Gillespie fighting each other. And you spent quite a bit of time talking about how that was likely not to happen, which I respect what you said, and I figured you were correct. I didn't think it would happen after you said that coming off a loss and coming off a win doesn't always work with matchups. But since now it's been announced that it is going to happen, can you shed some light on how you think that's going to go down and just kind of give me what you think the pros and cons are for each fighter?
Okay, now I got to tell you right up front, you're beating me to some scoop. If you're right on that, and I need to know who your source is, and I'm going to need to do a level of research on my own, but you're breaking news to me. I have not heard anywhere, I have not even heard a rumor anywhere that Gregor Gillespie and Islam Makhachev have agreed to compete. Now, I would like to see that fight. I mean, look, let me be real candid with you, okay? I'm half pissed off at Gregor Gillespie, and I've been half pissed off at Gregor Gillespie for about 3 years. I have had conversations behind Gregor Gillespie's back when somebody comes up to me and tells me how wonderful Khabib is, and that Khabib is unbeatable, but hey, Chael, by the way, who do you think could unseat Khabib? And I will have the same conversation, rinse and repeat, time and time again. I can even remember where I was the last time I had this. I was in Caesar's Palace, just left this fantastic, huge Italian meal. Laura Gilbert picks the place. She lives in Vegas. She knows I love it. We ate like kings. We had food everywhere. I'm walking out. The manager stops me, says, by the way, and he had sent over some dessert for us. It was a very nice thing. But he said, by the way, glad you enjoyed the dessert. Thanks for coming in. But tell me this, can anybody deal with Khabib? So as a matter of fact, there's a guy, and I'm going to trust you probably haven't heard of him. He's completely undefeated. He's never even lost a round. He was an undefeated national wrestling champion. He's young, he's hungry, he's gritty. His name is Gregor Gillespie. And if you look at the skills of Khabib, which is not only the wrestling prowess, but the conditioning and the pace, and you look at the skills of Gregor Gillespie, which is not only the ability to compete, but also heavy in wrestling and does not mind a heavy pace, the closest guy, at least on paper, is a guy named Gregor Gillespie. I've had these conversations so many times. You want to know who doesn't agree with me? And this is where I get upset. You want to know who doesn't agree with me? A guy in New York who goes by the name of Gregor Gillespie. I don't know what Gregor sees when he looks in the mirror. I don't know. But he doesn't see the reflection of an undefeated national wrestling champion staring back at him. He does not see the reflection of a guy who was 8-0 at the time of it. Now he's 8-1. Oh, boo-hoo. Who's going to cry for Gregor? He's 8-1. And the one came to the former number one contender in Kevin Lee, and it happened to come at the Mecca of Madison Square Garden. I mean, the guy's had one hell of a career. Not just a fight career, an athletic career. Some guys are just winners, okay? You don't have to get into how good are you at this and what color belt do you have in that and show me your experience. Some guys are winners. They know how to walk out when the lights are on and the people are watching, and they know how to have more points than that guy when time runs out. Okay, I can tell you who's going to win the Super Bowl every year. I've never been wrong. I can tell you who's going to win the World Series every year. I can tell you who's going to win the NBA every single year before it ever happens. The team that has the most points when time runs out. You could talk about sacrifice and hard work and dedication. You could all the way get down to, does my mother love me more than your mother loves you? You could talk about all of these things, but the only thing that you have to have if you want your hand raised and to move on to the next round is more points than the other guy when time runs out. And the few athletes who understand this, Gregor Gillespie being one of them, to the highest of levels, the guy has been a winner at everything he has ever tried. He has found a way. In the cadet division, he found a way. In the junior division, he found a way. In the NCAA division, he found a way. In mixed martial arts, and quite frankly, when I look at him, now this wouldn't be true, but when I looked at him when he started, I go, this guy's not very good. But he found a way. He's a winner. Some guys are just winners. He does not see that when he looks in the mirror. I don't know what he sees. I don't know who's in his ear telling him, Gregor, you're really not very good. Oh, he's not really good. Because there's a mantle right there, and it's got nothing but blue ribbons and trophies on it. So where we need to convince Gregor Gillespie to step it up in competition and that you're a really great, I don't know. I haven't the foggiest idea. I'd love to grab this guy by the collar and shake him. Love to slap him a couple times, then point to his mantle, where he's got a trophy that very few hold that says NCAA champion on it. And up until recently, he was completely undefeated, by the way. He's now still got an A- if you want to go ahead and put this in percentage, but now he's got 90% wins. Okay, great. He's great. He's a really great fighter, and he also happens to match up really well with the current champion, who is Khabib. And a good way to get into Khabib's heart, in Khabib's mind, and on Khabib's radar is to beat up Islam, of which Gregor can do. I assure you. His coaches will assure you. But the man that he sees in the mirror every morning when he shaves and brushes his teeth tells him something different. And it is confusing and baffling, and it's nothing short than frustrating for me. It is nothing less than frustrating for me to watch time go by, to watch opportunities be passed up, to watch Gregor get a little bit older while I'm going behind his back telling people, this is the guy. This could be the guy. He's got the record, the youth, his interviews suck, but everything else is fantastic. Okay, want to pick on the guy because his interviews are bad? So what? So what? That's not screw Gregor, that's screw me. Screw me, so what? I like a good interview. This guy checks a lot of boxes. But how he doesn't have a bigger confidence and a belief, how he's not coming out pointing his fingers in people's chests. I can tell you in his amateur career, he did not give a damn. He'd take on 4 guys in one day, every single Saturday, and he did not care who it was or where they came from or how good they were or what their records were or what was on the line. You put your foot on the line, I'll put my foot on the line. Somebody blow a whistle. This is who this guy was. It's not who he is right now. And I don't know why. And I could walk into his dad's house right now, drag him into the living room, and point to the mantle that says from 15 years, I could go back to the time he was 9 years old. We'll start in the cadet division at 15, all the way to right now. You're great. You're not just good. You're great. You're special. You're different. But you used to also compete against anybody that would put their foot on the line. It sounds like Islam's putting his foot on the line. Gregor, put yours on the line.